We are in collusion with our laws.
We are what?
The American people are in collusion against themselves.
Yeah.
I think that you're, are you finished? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I agree with you very strongly that there is an element of collusion in this. And I would just say, if you vote for people who do criminal acts, you support people who do criminal acts, and you don't at least say how you're going to prevent the criminal acts, or, you know, I'll just say, I spoke for voting for Obama here, and frankly, I hope everybody in the room does, because I don't think Romney is going to be a nice guy. The world. Having said that, Obama will be a horrible president serving the oligarchy unless he is fought. So, both things. But, here's the other. The people who did these laws are the segregationist Democrats who went in the Republican Party, who pushed all of these sentencing regulations which hamstring judges. They did it through the reactionary institutions like the Senate, created by James Madison, the slaveholder, to preserve slavery. Many of the infamies of American history come from this. None of this has to do, and this is the point of the Founding Fathers, with the people. We want to keep the people down. We want black folks not to vote. We want a lot of poor folks not to vote. And the fact is that most people are told, you know, I ask class after class, who thinks just call up a politician and influence them about some issue that you really feel very, very strongly about. And I got exactly one person who was a guy who said, I'm going to join the CIA and I think I can influence policy in a way that I agree with. And so I said to him, yes, but would that be democratic? And he went home, and he didn't have a class till next week, and he came in the beginning of the class, he said, I was up all night last night, and you're right, it wouldn't be democratic. So we had a very good discussion. And I don't think, you know, mostly it's lawyers, right? There are very few politicians who want lawyers.
What was that word?
Lawyers.
Oh.
Right? And not everybody gets to go to law school even before the current debt slavery. Right? Were there were sort of hands up? Yeah.
I just thought maybe that you were going to talk about the 18th Brumaire and the peasants and the class and the workers and the differences, because I think that description that you make in your Marx book is probably the best. It carries on today because growing up in La Junta, you know, you have the ranchers who think they're, you know, all good with Bush, and they have their little plot of land, and yet, you know, and they get subsidies from the government, you know, for not growing corn or on a certain year or a certain month, and yet they still vote against their interests. Really, and I think in that book, in that chapter, that's probably the best that I continue to read that because you know, or the English and the Irish. I mean, any of that divide and conquer is probably.
Thank you. That really adds to what I was saying about divide and rule before. And I would just say that your experiences in La Junta, growing up, Rich is a Vietnamese orphan who grew up in a Chicano family in La Junta. And he was wandered into my class having worked at TU, having worked at Metro with my students. And fortunately, he's nonviolent. That's come to be my friend and studied with me for a while. And if we were to describe this more, the division between whites and Chicanos, and the invitation of a lot of people in La Junta to vote against their interests goes way down. It isn't even just the ranchers. And so it really is worth thinking about, really, whether when people are caught up, you know, I mean, if you think about who would vote for Romney on the basis of his being a human being, because he says, you know, my friend, corporations are people. So at least he's disguising what kind of human being he is. But it seems like it would be about 1/10 of 1%, because they're the ones who would clearly benefit. It's going to screw Social Security and medical care and a whole bunch of other things and make more. And he's even going to make more than the Russians. I guess he thinks he's James Bond or it's China, you know. Now, if you ask why this guy is going to get more than 1/10 of 1% of the vote, I think that's an interesting question. We have, for the elite in the United States, an extraordinarily able, sophisticated president who's done a whole bunch of things, which among other things might try to make them not just screw everybody else. So, not much, but a little bit. It's very interesting that Romney, with all this money and publicity, is thought to be a serious candidate. He may well be elected here. But I would just say, if you want to take it on the basis of interest, everything Rich said is true.
All right, so thank you so much
Thank you.
for that. We're going to do the book signing now. If you could just line up around the mystery and science fiction section and come up.
And by the way, anybody that hasn't signed up in my blog, we can get a book.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'll send it.